Okay, how's it going, everyone? So now we are finally onto the base of this pipe vise, and I have it somewhat complete here. After doing it myself, I've learned a few things about maybe where to position the origin and where to where essentially it might go to benefit you the most. And I found out here that so if I show you guys, it kind of doesn't want to stop. I don't know why. But essentially the okay, so I put the origin like right in the middle between this edge and this edge, and that turned out to be a little bit more of a pain. I mean, it's okay. It works, but it might be better if we go ahead and do this next way. But anyway, this is essentially what it looks like, except for that cylindrical piece that goes on top. And then some edge blends here on the side that I missed. But other than that, it's not really in all that bad of I guess, I don't know, part to draw, I guess. So I think maybe some other people might, so maybe like I guess like Jim or maybe some of the other TAs might say it's a little bit harder. But I mean, really, you shouldn't be scared of having to draw something like this because it's really not all that bad. I mean, especially after I go over it. I mean, you guys should be pretty pretty clear on it. So the first thing, obviously, I'm gonna just start it by naming it base, and then you might have to change that. That might not be the very final name of the base, but just keep that in mind. And I do have here a picture of what the base is actually going. Well, from the book. This is from the book here. So probably the hardest part is maybe this curve here. Everything else just takes a while. So the difference between like actually it being hard and it actually taking a while. I mean, there is a difference there. So yeah, like I said, it's not that bad. So to start off, I would actually make a sketch on this XY plane here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with like a box here. Immediately, the first thing I'm going to do is list these dimensions here, which are 60 and 170. So I need to go back and change that one, but this one's 170, and this one should be 60. Okay, now as far as the position of my origin, I want it to be right like in the middle right here. So that essentially requires me to let's see. So I think so. This line, the center of this line, it's really hard to tell, but well, okay. So this is in the middle of this 42 here. So the distance between the very middle here and the edge should be half of 42, so essentially 21. So the distance of this x between this line here should be 21. And then as far as the horizontal distance, let's see. 70 right here. So I'll go ahead and add that in there. Okay, so I am fully constrained. One thing that I would do if I were you is I would actually just make the holes already. Make these circles because you're going to extrude this anyway. I'll make a line through these and then I'll convert this into a reference. Okay, and then let's see. I'll make these radii equal. The distance between them should be, I think it's like 140 or something like that. Yeah, 140. Oh wow, that was like a legit guess. Okay, so 140, and then I'll go ahead and make a dimension for these. So you don't, I mean, keep this in mind that you don't even have to like drop down and click. You can just select the center of the circle, and it gives you a diameter. But if you want a radius, then you can just obviously divide it by 2. I think this needs to be 13. Yeah, right here. So 13. And then there needs to be a distance from the edge. So I know this 140 should be, or these should be essentially right like in the middle. I mean, you'll see what I mean. So the distance from here to here should be, now I'm going to do 170 minus 140, and that's in parentheses divided by 2. 2 because the distance, so I do 170 minus 140 and I get this distance and this distance, but I only want one of them, so I divide it by 2. So that gives me, I think it's like 15. Yeah, 15. So there's that, and then I will also need a dimension here. Half of, I think this should be 30 according to the book. Yeah, just 30 here. It's smack in the middle, so the 30 is 60 divided by 2, so we're good there. And I won't add these curves here later. I won't add these fillets or edge blends here now in the sketch, but I'll just go ahead and take care of it with an edge blend later on. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me or anything. I don't think it will, because I actually didn't do it in the other one that I drew, but we're okay. So here, start at 0, and then I'm gonna go down actually whatever thickness it is. I think it's 20. Yeah, 20 right here. Oh, I got to. It'd help if I selected the curve, right? Okay, so I'll go with the opposite direction. I actually want to extrude this down. Maybe it'll benefit you later on. Maybe it won't, but it's almost like a trade-off kind of thing. Because if it benefits like one feature later on, it might not benefit another. But I don't know. This is how I'm gonna do it. It'll be fine. Okay, so we have this so far. And now what I want to do is I want to make a sketch on this plane. This, I don't know what it was. To where your orientation is like this. And here is where you're going to draw, oh well, you'll draw this whole thing. Not this cylinder. You'll draw this whole thing. And this will be a little bit, I mean it won't be difficult, but it'll take some time. It'll definitely take some time. Okay, So just to get an idea of how large this thing is going to be, it's going to be 25, 25, 40, and 72, 137 millimeters tall. It'll be roughly, I don't know how wide this is. It looks like maybe half of that, so maybe 137 divided by 2. But that's just an idea. That's just to keep in mind, like, what the size is going to be. So when I go and when I start a profile here, I'm going to start roughly here. I know it goes up, it does, I gotta take off these things. Okay, so I know it starts roughly here. It'll go up, and then I'll continue this way. It goes to the left a little bit, then it comes down, and then it does like this kind of thing. And then from here, it goes up, then it comes like this, and then it does like maybe this kind of thing, and then this kind of thing, and then it just comes down here. I'm going to stop here actually, and now I'll go ahead and start another profile at the line where I began, or at the point where I began. I'll go left, and I want to stop maybe right there. That way when I go up, I'm offset from this line a little bit, and I'll stop maybe about right there. Next thing that I want to do is I want to check whether I got my 137. So I think it's the 137 is from the bottom. No, it's actually from right here. So I'm not really even close. So 137. And then what you'll do from here is you'll essentially just scale what this thing is going to look like. So if I put these things side by side, so like the length here is obviously bigger than the length here. I mean, this is 25, this is 72. So whether you want to scale it first or just straight up add the dimensions on there, it's kind of up to you. But let's just go ahead and add some dimensions. And if needed, we will remove them, but I don't think we should have to. I don't think it'll be necessary to remove them once they're on there. I think this is supposed to be 72, like I said. Here is supposed to be 25. Okay, 25. And let's see. Before we do anything else, I would make this line and this line collinear. That way they stay that way, and you don't have to deal with that later on. So I'll go into my collinear constraint, make these collinear, and then let's see, what can we do next? Maybe, okay, let's go ahead and do the angle next. If your sketch looks like this, then you might want to like move it over a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and do that, this dimension here. So the dimension from this line to this point here, the horizontal distance should be 44. 44? Yeah, right here. So keep in mind, from this edge here to this line should be 44 millimeters. And I also want the reason why this comes in handy is because I also want this point here to be a point on this curve, which is why you need that there. So if you're starting this and you realize that you didn't put the origin there, then you might want to go back and change it, because if you don't, then you'll have to measure some distance, like from this edge or something, and it won't be all that easy. It'll be, I don't know, it'll just be a little bit more difficult for you. So here's when I'm like trying to rush it, but my computer's not all that fast. Well, this one anyway. I actually got a new computer, it's pretty nice. But, you get a new computer and then you realize that, I mean, you don't want to, like, just overload it with programs and stuff. Like, especially right after you bought it. So, here I made this 85 here, and then I know that I essentially want the angle between this line and this vertical line. I want this angle to be the same as this angle. So what I'm going to do to fix that is I'm going to go ahead and make an angle from here to here. I'll make it, let me try this, P14 divided by 2. Maybe it's over. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, whatever I change this angle to, this angle will always be P14 divided by 2, which is 47 and a half. Another thing I want to do now is I want to make this point a point on this curve here. And notice it is not touching the bottom, so that's good. That's what we want. So now, let's see. So it looks like maybe this bottom half is essentially constrained. I think this will come down a little more. It'll come down to about right there. I'll move this over. So align your sketch to maybe where it looks something like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw a circle, and I'm going to start it roughly here. And I will make it tangent right there. And I don't think it made a tangent, because if I zoom in, yeah, of course, then you'll get the tangent if you have like that line across it. But I mean, it's an easy fix, so it's no big deal. Yeah, like I said. So now I'm gonna move the circle a little bit up. Let's see. Now the midpoint of the circle has a dimension from here to, I think, one of these bottom faces, and it is in fact, oh well, yeah, it's pointing like right at it. So this is the midpoint of this circle, of this 65 radius circle here, and it is 60. So I will make that dimension from here to, where was it, the very bottom. From here to the very bottom should be 60 millimeters. Oh wow, and it got like, it's like really close to. I mean, if your line is like up here, that's fine. You can just click it, drag it down. You'll want this later on. Or, well, I haven't even added the dimension yet, so I don't even know if that's right. But now you can add the dimension. So it's giving me a diameter, but 65 times 2, no, yeah, 65 times 2. And yeah, it is this huge circle, but I mean, you're only going to be using this piece here. So now what I want is, well, this is the diameter, or this is the radius here. So where this line shouldn't move anymore. Okay, so this is what I have so far. So now I'm gonna go ahead and trim what I don't need. I don't need this line. I don't need this line anymore. I won't need this one either, and I won't need this one here. So I have the general shape of this piece here. If you want to put the radius here, that's fine, obviously. Okay, yeah, the next thing that we'll do is we'll go ahead and add a constraint, because this midpoint can move left and right. So we'll add a constraint that this midpoint is a point on this y curve here. So now it can't move anywhere at all. So that this radius is it's done moving. Let's see now. Oh yeah. So I think this is my only one, maybe. Okay. So I have two constraints. So let me go back into. Okay. So I have this dimension. I have this 95 here. So I'll go ahead and use that. So the distance between here and this line here, this should be 95. And just to check, it's still not touching, so that's good. And I'll need one for the top here. This should be, so this 60 here is from the edge to the inner part of this subtracted extruded piece, which we haven't created yet. So that notice that that extruded, I'm sorry, piece here, this piece here is collinear with this outside line. So in fact, this, I mean, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, so in fact, this from here to this line should be 60. So I'll go ahead and add that one. Okay, so now we're fully constrained, and if you have any issues up to now, just make sure you look at my dimensions here and notice that I have a lot of things that are point on curves for this axis here. Make sure you have this 137, this 25. There's another one here that should be, I think, 20 or something. Oh no, 40. So I mean, you have, as long as you have 3 of them, you should be full. Because so if I go and make a dimension from here to here, this should be 40 anyway. Not that dimension. From here to here. I mean, I'll get a red dimension telling me that it's over constrained, but it is in fact 40, and it's something just to verify. So I mean, obviously you'll delete it. so this is essentially what I have so far, and um, this is what I will extrude. And now, when I go and extrude this, which is the next process, I'll go ahead and I can go ahead and make a symmetric value, and I'll make that symmetric value 20, or maybe, can I make a symmetric value? Yeah, 21. And you see that this, the edge of this face here is flush with this edge. Flush meaning there's no gap here between this line. There's no gap in, I mean, essentially, if you roll the ball like across here, there's no dip, and the ball wouldn't drop down or something. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. The distance between these planes are 0. I think that's probably, or is 0. Okay. Make sure, I didn't make sure, but make sure you unite. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the, let's see, now I'll make this extruded piece here. You can draw, I'll start maybe about right there. You can draw you'll draw the piece that extrudes back. So I'll start here. Let me change this off. Where they annoy me. And then I'll select like an arc, and then I'll come like this. Make sure it doesn't snap to something like that, like how it's doing. Just really have it, because if you even snap it to the bottom there, you might have some issues later. But just click, and then another arc here, and then you can just come straight down, and then come back to where you originally started. So now what you want is, you want a concentric constraint, and you'll make this and this outer edge concentric, so they'll share that same midpoint. You also want, as far as constraints, that might be it, but let's go ahead and add some dimensions. So here, this is a radius of 5, I think. Yeah, okay, 5. And this inner one is 55. And I'll also want, if it doesn't create these tangent invert constraints, then you'll have to go back and do these. Is it there already? I can do this. I mean, why not double check, right? And it's going to tell me that it's there because it's loading. Almost like I know. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now I just need a distance. So here, I think they'll tell me distances up top. Okay, so here you kind of have to do a little bit of math. So, I mean, with the way that I'm doing it, maybe Jim doesn't like this way. I don't know. He says never to do math. And I don't know. Here, let's see. In the meantime, you should try and figure this out too. So let's see. This is 60 here, and then Oh my god. So here, this is 60, and then this is 40. So 40 from the edge here to this line, and then from this line to the edge here is 60. So 60 and 40 is 100. So I'll dimension from here to here. I'll dimension this 100, and notice that it already says that it's fully constrained. Okay, yeah, 100. And it is fully constrained. So we're good there. And for my way, I'm going to extrude this back. And I think it goes in a distance of 10. Make sure to subtract here. And then you'll apply, and then what's kind of odd is I haven't figured this one out yet, but notice how the distance from here to here looks kind of smaller than the distance from here to here. And there really isn't any reference to what distance this is. So the only reference that I would be able to get is from this drawing, and I don't really see anything that tells me that the distance from here to this edge is different from the distance from here to this edge. So there's no dimension here that tells me that, and maybe that's something that's at the fault of the person who ever wrote the book, or I don't know, but keep that in mind, because I noticed that it does look different, and to you it should look different. I mean, here, this is the dashed line, and here the distance between this dashed line and this dashed line is they're essentially in the middle of these two lines. They're symmetric, and if you notice, you do have a gap here and you don't have a gap here, so they're obviously different, but you don't really, as far as I know, as far as I've figured out so far, you don't really know what that distance is. Yeah, I mean, there really is no reference. So here, I know this is 10. I'm just gonna assume that this one is 10 as well. Yeah, so this 20 belongs here, this 30 belongs to the whole, and half of whatever lies on there. And yeah, I mean, there really isn't anything else to tell you, so I'll pick this curve again, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at negative, negative 42, and I will come back this way. It will be roughly right there, but I'll come back. Oh yeah, oh, I got it right on the way. So it'll come back out this way to not to positive 32, to negative 32. So from negative 42 to negative 32, the difference in these two numbers is in fact 10. So when you okay that, it does go into this 10. So I'm going to leave that for now. It might change later on, so keep that in mind. But if in the event that it changes, just essentially just be aware that this could change. I don't think it will from here until Wednesday, because I mean, you don't see Jim again unless you go and you email him or you ask him or something. But in my opinion, it's safe to assume that this depth here is 10. Okay, so we'll move on. So now I need, or I don't need, but so now I will need this pocket here, and I don't know where it is in the menu, so I'm just gonna search. Well, I obviously just searched for it. I used a rectangle, or I'm going to use a rectangular pocket. It'll be on this face. My horizontal reference will be this edge here, and I will have a length of 40, a width of 20, and a depth of 147, which translates to So here, the distance between here and here is 10, right? So I have, it needs to start at the bottom, so 20 plus 25 plus 40 plus 72 minus this 10, because it comes back down, does in fact result in 147. So if you type in 20 plus 25 plus 40 plus 72 minus 10, you should get the same thing. If you want to type in 147, then that's fine too. Okay, so now as far as the perpendicular distance, I'm going to start here, I will end here, and I will make this distance 10. I won't explain this yet, but I'll also start here and here, and I will make this 20. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Okay, so it looks okay to me, and the reason why I did the 20 and the 10, I mean, in case you don't already know, the origin here is in fact the center of this pocket. So a lot of things do revolve around the center of this pocket. So when I made the distance from this edge to here 20, then doing that was right, because the whole distance is 40, and then the whole distance from here to here is 40. The distance from this top edge to this bottom edge is also 20. So when I did a perpendicular constraint from this x to one of these edges as 10, that was also considering symmetry and the fact that the origin is at the dead center of this pocket here. So yeah, that's essentially the whole reason why Jim was saying you have to keep in mind where you put your origin, because let's say I had it over here, like how screwed would I be if or I mean, I wouldn't be screwed, I would just have to do a lot more math to figure out what this distance is between, for example, the edge of this pocket and here, and then having to do that for um, I don't know, I think it's just more of a pain. Okay, but let's move on. I need to stop fixating on these small things. So now I think I have everything. This is the hardest part of it, is essentially done. Now if I look at the constraints here, I'll have 4 edge blends here on the corners that are radius 5. I will also have a lot of edge blends that are radius of 3, or radii of 3. And the next thing I'll do is this cylinder here up top. So how long have I been speaking? Hopefully not a lot. Oh my god, 38 minutes. Well, 35 minutes-ish. Okay, so, I mean, that beats 2 hours, right? So, next what I'll do is I'll make a boss. And like I said, I have no idea where it is in the menu, so, I mean, why bother, looking for it when you can just type it into, find a command, and there it is. So, I think those are the correct dimensions, but yeah, so 30, 18, and all I need to do now is select a base. Okay, and then I'll do point onto point. So let's see, I'll select. I think I can select this, maybe the origin, and I'm assuming it puts it smack in the middle for you. So if you look from the top, you can see that the origin is in fact the center of this circle, which is obviously what we want. So putting the origin here, like I said, has a lot of its benefits. Okay, now I'll just do the whole here. If and when it loads, Okay, so I'll start it there, and then it comes down. I think it comes down all the way to the bottom. Maybe. I think it does. Yeah, I want to say it does. Well, I mean it has to, right? Because the the rotating device to lower the movable jaw down has to come through here. So yeah, obviously it does. So this is a diameter of 20. The depth limit should be until next. Yeah, so the taper angle kind of goes away. Yeah, and it's a simple hole, and that's essentially it. Yep, so now I should be able to see the origin, and I do. It's right there. Okay. Okay, so now, let's see. I think now it's just a matter of a whole bunch of edge blends. And as far as where to put them, it's kind of confusing. It's not very obvious. I think there's one that goes here, another one goes here, another one here, I think another one here, here, all these different places. I don't think there's one that goes here. Here. I don't think there's one that goes here either. Maybe. Maybe? Uh, I don't think so. I'll leave it out. And then maybe here too. I don't know. Why not, I guess? I mean, it kind of doesn't show it because I think if there were an edge blend here on the inside, you would have like at least like a small line here or something. But when I saw Jim's earlier today, I did see edge blends here. Or maybe if he watches this video and it turns out that there aren't any edge blends, then um, I don't know, he might think I'm like tripping or something. But okay, so we'll apply these. We will um, now start with the radius of 5, and then we'll do these here. These are a radius of 5, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. Is that what's right? My roommates probably actually think I'm crazy because I'm like in here. I mean, thankfully none of them are home yet, but I'm like in here just essentially talking to myself. Okay, so I think, I don't know, I think that might be it. Like it's, oh no. Well, of course it's not it. Why would it be it? We also have a hole here, so, um, I'll start on this face. If you're working there at the lab, you're not gonna have these horrible, dumb auto dimensions. Like, why? Why would they put them in there? I mean, like, don't they know? I think it should be 21. Put it smack in the middle, and then as far as the height, it's 17 from this top edge, so we'll do the dimension from. Since I already made the edge plane, you can click this one, I think, and you'll be okay. As long as you click this top one here, do not click this bottom one, because if you click this bottom one, you will lose out on 3 millimeters. So this is 17. Okay, well, I'm fully constrained, and this is a simple hole of diameter 8 that goes through everything. Diameter 8, and then we will go until selected, and I will select this back face here, so it will go through the whole thing. And I mean, it won't do anything here, but it will cut through here, and it will cut through here, so that's what we want. So I'll hit OK, and sure enough, it cuts to it. So um, this is essentially the base feature. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I hope there's nothing else. I mean, you don't hope there's anything else either, right? I mean, you just want to be done with it. Okay, I'll look at it from the side, and I'll compare. So here I have, I mean, yeah, that looks about right. I'll go to wireframe. I would say that looks about right. Yeah, and then I'll go to, what else does it give you, this front here, and that looks about fine too. So, okay, so I'll stop messing around. So here we are essentially, hopefully, finished with the base. Um, if I do miss anything, or I find out that I miss anything later, I'll obviously let you guys know in the email that I sent out. Hopefully by tomorrow. It should be by tomorrow, because the assembly of this thing isn't bad. The base, like drawing the base, is actually worse. So in this next video, I think, which is maybe part four of the series. In the next video, I'll go ahead and go over the assembly and bringing everything together. And bringing everything together is actually um, it's actually pretty neat. You can do a lot of cool things with assembly files, and I mean, you guys will essentially see. So obviously, make sure to hide. When the dialog box. I can probably like go get a brisk from the fridge right now, and then I'll come back and it'll still like not be okay. So here I can just hide all, and then yeah, make sure you do this, and make sure you save it like this. That way you don't get any points taken off, or or you don't get yelled at. Um, that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, like, who wants to go to class and to get yelled at? Really, it's pretty horrible. But I think this is it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys, or not necessarily see you guys. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.